for more on where to trade in this market, let's bring in two guys who run money. Adam Bold, the Mutual Fund Store CEO, and Randy Bateman, Huntington Asset Advisors President and Chief Investment Officer. Let's go a bit macro here, broadening out the aperture from IBM, Randy. Looking at the picture of the markets, we've seen a lot of volatility, but do you think that it is sort of sell in July and, I don't know, hang out for the rest of the summer, or will we see some real action?
That's a good question, Liz. We think that you could characterize this as almost an iceberg market. You might even could characterize it as an iceberg economy. You don't want to go full steam ahead no matter what, because you don't know what the underpinnings are. There's certainly an awful lot of problems associated with the economy, and I think you're going to see business frozen, just like in an iceberg. They're frozen because they don't know what kind of regulatory issues. They're not going to hire very much, and so consequently investors are vacillating between whether we're going to be in a bull market, a bear market, whether we're going to go into an inflationary environment, or even now there's talk of a deflationary environment. It's just really a bizarre investment community and a bizarre environment that we're having to deal with. But iceberg is the best characteristic I can give it right now.
Adam, well, we just heard from Randy, a bizarre environment. Adam, you seem to be a little more optimistic about the future. You're not that concerned about unemployment. You don't think inflation is going to be an issue. Why the optimism?
Yeah, I think that there are certainly a lot of things to worry about, and the general public has been very worried about it. Oil leaks and grease and everything else. But I think underneath everything else, many corporations are earning significantly more than they did this time last year. They're going to earn more next year, and as that happens, I think stock prices are going to go up. And so I think it's very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day news, but when you look at the actual hard data, things are improving.
Well, if that's the case, Randy, let's get your picks right up on the board so people can get a sense of where your mind is working and what you actually like at the moment. And you start off with Edwards Lifesciences, Cerner, also Alliance Resources, and Newfield Exploration. Since we're talking so much about exploration lately, give us your sense of why you like Newfield.
Okay, we like Newfield simply because they are in the natural gas business. If you look at those two companies, Alliance and Newfield, they're both in sectors that are actually, we are independent. We have enough natural gas for our needs. We have enough coal for our needs. So there's both opportunities to supply the answers that we need in this economy, but also there's opportunities for playing a little bit of offense with these two in terms of being able to export. We know that the world is going to be energy demanding as we go forward. The other two are more defensive plays. We like the healthcare sector. Cerner is obviously a packaged software corporation that provides the ultimate answer to a lot of hospitals and doctors' offices that want to make themselves more efficient. And then Edwards is really more in the cardiovascular area that we know as we're all getting older, our hearts are starting to beat a little funny.
All right, Adam, let's look at some of your plays here. The James Balance Fund, that's GLRBX. You also like the FMI Large Cap, which is the FMIHX, and also Thomas White International. Why those three particular plays?
Well, I tried to pick three today that are kind of off the radar, maybe funds that people haven't heard of a lot. The James Balance Fund is a fund where it's never going to be a fund that takes off to the upside, has huge numbers, but in exchange for that, they really protect your downside. Even in this year, where we've got a down market, the fund is up better than 2% so far year to date. The FMI Large Cap Fund, run by Ted Kellner, he has just done an excellent job of being in the right place at the right time in large U.S. corporations. And I think that that's a place where there's a tremendous amount of value. Lastly, Thomas White International. Tom White has just done a brilliant job, not only of being in the right place at the right time, but avoiding the wrong places at the wrong time. And I think that, you know, certainly there are bad places to invest in this world, but there are still tremendous opportunities outside of the United States. And I think that Tom White does a great job of finding those.
Okay, see, these are the guys that are buying these things and figuring out how they'll perform. So we appreciate both of you coming on. Randy, Adam, we'll see you next time. Have a great day.